So why is communication so hard? I mean, you've asked her to do something, right? You've been as clear as you can in your instruction, and she still doesn't give it to you. I'm talking about your teenage daughter. Or you've asked him to clean up after him in the kitchen, and he still hasn't done it. And you have this frustration. Why are they not listening to me? Why am I not getting through to them? So there's a lot of ways that we can improve that. But first of all, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why communication is so difficult. What is actually going on to make it that difficult? Because it shouldn't be rocket science, right? We were all born with a gift of being able to communicate. We were born with it. From the moment we came out of the womb, we were crying for something to drink, you know. We knew how to ask for things, and we got better and better at it as we grew up. And at some point, we started to talk, and we learned the language in the home, and the language, our mother tongue, and we started to communicate with words as well. But we're always communicating. So let's have a look at why communicating with words is often very inadequate, actually. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you a few slides. So yeah, that's the typical scenario I get a lot, is parents say to me, why won't you listen to me? I mean, what am I doing wrong? I've spoken in plain English. So let's have a look at why. Why is communication so hard? In front of you, you see a tree, right? So imagine I come along, or you come along, actually, in this case. You come along and you see that tree. For you, that tree, she comes along, your daughter, let's say your 16-year-old daughter comes along, looks at the same tree, you would imagine that you're seeing the same reality, wouldn't you? But, in fact, you're not, because your experience, you're perceiving and experiencing this thing in front of you based on all of these filters, and this is your final interpretation with the meaning of it. From her perspective, she's got different filters, different values, beliefs, triggers, etc. And she comes out with a different meaning. So she's looking at it and seeing that, you're looking at it and seeing that, and you're wondering why the other one can't see what you're seeing. It's just the way it is, not just you and your daughter, it's everyone. It's people at work, it's partners, it's family members, you name it. Okay, we are all walking around with our own experience of what we're seeing in front of us going on. And then we assume that the other person is experiencing the same thing. And we wonder then, what the heck are they not getting? Then we try to have a conversation. And in the conversation, we leave out information. Doesn't that happen to you? You forgot to say something, or she forgot to tell you something. There's missing information, or there's a distortment somewhere. You've distorted something. You've exaggerated, or she has. Or you generalize, you know, all tall people are scary, whatever. And those are the things that cause the clashes. Now, the thing is, we don't intend to do that. We don't intend to, but what's actually going on is that we see ourselves, each and every one of us sees ourselves by what's going on inside of us. So if my intention, let's say my daughter, 14-year-old wants to go to a party on Friday night, all her friends are going, you know the story, it's not fair, everybody else is going, everybody else's mom lets them go, and they're allowed to stay out till 1 o'clock. And you go, what? Not in a million years. If you are going, which I haven't decided yet, you're going to come back at 11 o'clock, or I'll pick you up at 11. And so the battle can continue. But you're coming from a place of, let's say your motive is to protect your daughter and care about her safety, right? So your intention is to keep her safe. And that's where your behavior is coming from. The behavior of, oh, absolutely not. Not in a million years. I will fetch you at 11. What she's seeing, though, is not what's going on inside of you. She's only seeing the behavior. So then her interpretation of your behavior is based on what she's seeing. And then she'll see that maybe as being mean or selfish or unreasonable or whatever. Okay. But it's working both ways, always. Every single one of us sees ourselves by what's going on inside. But to the outside world, they can't read our minds. And we can't read theirs. So that's kind of all we've got. We cannot see what's going on inside of each other. We can only see the outer behavior. And that can also sometimes cause misinterpretations, misunderstandings, and clashes. Yeah, so separate realities. Let's have a look at this as a bit of a caricature, but see how it rings true for you in any situation. So let's say you went in and you said, you went in and you saw your daughter's bedroom. You saw her sitting in her bedroom, and it was a state, okay? You saw an absolute pigsty. She looked at the situation to and her, what are you talking about? So there's a few clothes on the floor, no big deal. Again, that's her perception. She's not trying to be difficult. She's not trying to be insolent or cheeky or push your buttons. She's only saying, it's not important to me, so I don't see it. Okay. So then you ask her to please tidy her room. Well, while you're asking her, you've got the image and you've got the picture, the sounds, the feeling, everything. When you're saying, please will you tidy your room, that's what you're seeing. Okay? And then you walk away. What she hears is maybe she heard, pick up your clothes off the floor. So she did. And this happens a lot, doesn't it? If you're anything like me, my girls, it happens a lot. But look at this. It's not a deliberate thing. You're not deliberately jumping up and down when you walk in and go, what the hell happened here? I thought I asked you to tidy your room. And she looks at you and says, huh? I did. This kind of thing is happening all the time. And all we can do about it really is understand it. And understand that when she's seeing that, she really is seeing that. When you're seeing that, which is different to that, you really are seeing that. So, what can we do about it? What we can do about it, number one, is we can understand that nobody tries to miscommunicate. We can really understand that what we perceive may be crystal clear to us in our own minds, but what comes out of our mouths is very minimal, mostly. Second thing we can do is shift our mindset a little bit. If we can find some way to shift our mindset to say, well, imagine if everybody does have the same desire for a positive outcome. Imagine that. Imagine even my daughter of 13, even my son of 16, whatever. They all have the same desire for a positive outcome. And understanding that the place that I'm coming from is way more important than the words that I use. Meaning, if I'm coming from a place of love and mutual respect and understanding how this works, I would communicate slightly differently about my daughter's messy room to her than I would if I was coming from a place of anger and assuming that she's stepping out of her way to upset me, or she's doing this on purpose, or she's nasty, or all teenagers are vixens. You're going to be coming from a very, very different place. So take responsibility for the place from whence you are coming when you're speaking. And then also take responsibility for your communication. You're the leader, you're the senior, you're the more experienced one, you're the mentor, you're the coach. So take responsibility, and understanding how communication is so easy to get wrong and it is so difficult. Take that responsibility to go the extra mile in terms of explaining things, speaking as, filling in the gaps, explaining your own perceptions, etc. Lead the way there. And then lastly is, some action that you can do is find ways to communicate more clearly. Little models and checklists and tools and reframes of how you can communicate in a better way. And that will be in my next video. I hope you got something from that. I hope you can use some of that, because really nobody gets up in the morning to give you a bad day. And if you can learn that and demonstrate that and then teach it to your teenagers, your children, imagine how much more peace and harmony there will be in the household. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next video.